This is gonna be a hot take, but Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba the Hinokami Chronicles 2 might be the best anime game of all time. Don't get in my comments blaming me just yet, alright? Hear me out. This is gonna act like a review, I guess, in a sense, okay? But listen, I got some points written down as to why this game is goated. The first point being the gameplay. If you didn't like the gameplay in the first game, first, I do have to ask you, do you understand the game's mechanics, like chaining together all the skills and the combo timer and blue combos and yellow combos, the red combos, the heavy attacks and the parries and boosting? Or are you just playing Demon Slayer like it's a reskin of Storm? Because if you're playing Demon Slayer like it's a reskin of Storm, then you're not gonna enjoy Demon Slayer because they are two very different games, and if you play it expecting Storm, then you are not going to like the game. With that being said, Demon Slayer 2 pretty much keeps the same formula as far as gameplay mechanics go, so it's still fun and fast paced like the first game, with a few minor changes like remapping the parry button and the heavy attack button, which I wasn't really a fan of at first, but it's come to grow on me. I do feel like this helps the overall fluidity of the game, because parrying and heavy attacks on the first game were a little bit crazy to do, especially with the questionable netcode of the first game. But let's talk about the story mode. A lot of people, including myself, were a little bit worried as to how much content would be in the story, being that the anime wasn't as action-packed as it was during the events that took place in the first game. Now, usually when you hear somebody say that a company is dragging something or somebody's milking all the content they possibly can from something, usually that's a bad thing. But in the context of the story mode for Demon Slayer 2, I feel like they did a really good job in dragging out all of the action that happens within those 3 little seasons of Demon Slayer. I feel like you do fight the same boss over and over, but every time that you do, it feels fresh, it feels new. It always feels high stakes. I feel like the game does a very good job in making you feel like you're actually there right now in the anime, and that's something that's very rare with anime games that have been coming out lately. But yeah, the boss fights were super fun, and the story mode does have very good replayability. Now, if you keep up with the anime and you watched the whole Hashira training arc, then you let me know in the comments what you think about the Hashira training arc within the game. Because for me personally, I didn't watch that season, so playing Demon Slayer 2 was the first time I got to experience the Hashira training arc. And for me, it was really fun, it was unpredictable, and it was very interactive. A lot of the time I wasn't sure if I was going to be fighting one of the Hashira or if they would have me do some crazy mini game. And usually I'm not a fan of the mini games, especially the trauma that came with the first game's mini games. But these ones were actually really fun, I can't even lie. Zenitsu on the shamisen, that one was a little bit okay, like whatever, it wasn't that crazy. Even Mitsuri's mini game, it wasn't that crazy either, honestly. I mean, the hardest part about Mitsuri's mini game was actually keeping your eyes on the inputs. But anyway, my favorite one was Gyome's mini game, the Stone Hashira with the boulder clearing. That boulder clearing mini game was fire. Doing that on the hardest difficulty, yo, I felt that, bro. I felt that. I swear, the mashing on that mini game, by the time I was done, I kid you not, I had to pump, boy. I had to pump. It had me in my room screaming like I was going Super Saiyan. I was like, ah! But yeah, the free roam during the story mode was pretty fun, and finding the collectibles and doing all of the subquests is a great way to get more content out of the story itself. Though none of the subquests were really memorable for the most part, and none of it's voiced, but it gives you something to do, I guess, right? But those are my thoughts on the main story mode. Something really cool about this game is that there's another game mode which is basically like a very condensed version of the story mode within the first game. So it is awesome that I can experience all of Demon Slayer within this one game. And one of the biggest reasons why this game is amazing, there isn't a single slideshow. That's right, you heard me right, you heard it here first, folks. Every single cutscene is fully animated. I know, it's groundbreaking, truly. What a world it's become though, when the norm for anime games is giving us fucking garbage. So much so to the point where giving us a story mode with cutscenes is almost unheard of. Demon Slayer might be the only anime game that receives this much care. At least the only anime game that we've gotten in a very long time, since Storm 3, to be honest. Xenoverse 2 is also goated. I haven't really played Xenoverse 2, but I'm not ignorant. I recognize that this game is amazing. And I grew up with the Storm series. Storm 4 is also great, but I feel like Storm 4 not animating all of their cutscenes could very well be what normalized anime game studios being fucking lazy and giving us slideshows from the anime on a game that we're paying $70 for at this point. And it's just crazy that we're paying $70 a lot of the time to pretty much rewatch the anime. It's not even rewatching the anime though. A lot of the time is rewatching the anime through screenshots. But hey, I digress. I'm getting a little bit off topic here. All I'm saying is Demon Slayer, good on you. Good on you. I feel like anime games need to take some pages from Demon Slayer's book. And my next point are the game modes. Of course, it's a fighting game. There really shouldn't be much to do besides fighting. But hey, we can fight and we can have a reason to fight through these game modes. Like the Hashira training game mode itself, which is separate from the story. And basically, you just go through gauntlets of enemies, and you basically get different unlockables through doing this. And I haven't really touched this game mode much. It honestly feels more tedious than anything. That could just be me though. I don't know. You let me know if you enjoy this kind of stuff. I do have a very big problem of playing games specifically for trophies. So when I'm faced with a task like this, it just feels like a can of worms that I will inevitably have to open that I would rather not. But yeah, the online mode, that's cool too. We got ranked on launch, which is another thing that, you know, some of these anime games don't do. But yeah, we got ranked, we got casual mode, and there's a new game mode where you can play casual mode, but with different perks that are tied to your characters. So that's different, that's cool. I definitely wasn't expecting to be able to equip different passive buffs to my characters, and I feel like that could be a really cool thing for the mix-ups and whatever you want to build your team around or character playstyle around. And of course you have the endless mode and the tournament mode online. And PlayStation is actively hosting tournaments for the game already, which is really cool, so you can get different rewards like PSN avatars and I don't know what else. PSN avatar. I don't know. I wouldn't even take place in these tournaments because y'all be sweaty. I'm just a casual player. I don't know. My only gripe with the online mode is the fact that there is no way to return to character select or just outright rematch your friend if you're fighting them in a private lobby. So you're literally forced to return to the lobby itself and pretty much reload everything manually, which isn't necessarily a deal breaker. It is just a minor inconvenience. But yeah, that's my only gripe. And the game's customization of your player card and stuff gives you a lot of options to do. You can get really fancy with your player card, and that's dope. Character leveling adds some level of convenience to the game when it comes to unlocking things tied to your character specifically. So yeah, you can pretty much play a character over and over, and the higher level that your character gets, you can unlock different ultimates, you can unlock costumes, you can unlock player card images. So yeah, really cool. Overall, I might give the game a 10 out of 10. Maybe a 9.5 out of 10. Not being able to rematch in a private lobby is a minor problem, and I would be disingenuous to say that it's not. But yeah, really good game, 9.5 out of 10, really solid. I'd recommend that you get Demon Slayer 2. This is not sponsored, but you're welcome, CC2. Very rare that we get an anime game that has this much care poured into it, and I'm all for it. In a world full of disappointing anime games, this game right here, revolutionary. Best anime game? Debatable. You play it for yourself and then let me know in the comments down below. But that is all. Make sure that you like and subscribe because you would actually be doing me a great favor by doing that. But yeah, peace.